Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're doing another reaction and analysis today. It's going to be to Geoff's version of Jack's Lament from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I had only recently watched this movie despite it being from my time period. I'm a 1998 baby, so I should have seen it before this year, but unfortunately that is not the case. But I am no longer an uneducated swine. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce myself, then we'll jump right into the reaction and analysis. For those that don't know me, I am Ethan Drew. I'm a singer. I break down music like this on an elementary level, so that way you get a better understanding of it. I also really like to interview singers on this channel, which is going to eventually be my primary source of content here, as well as some of my own music. And if you are gaining enjoyment out of these videos, if you're getting a laugh, if you are learning more about music or appreciating the artist more, I would appreciate a like. Drop a comment down below, even if it's just a smiley face. It helps with the algorithm. Now, with that whole spiel out of the way, make sure you check out my Patreon. Link is in the description if you want to support me. And without further ado, let's jump into what what Geoff has for us today. I do need to preface this. I have seen this and heard this many times. I love it. It is one of my favorite Geoff covers of all time. It's just ridiculous, but I have held this reaction for a long time. I had only seen it for the first time literally like November of last year, and I've been holding it for this year's Halloween. I wanted you guys to see it in that time of year, so hate that I kept you waiting so long, but here we are. All right. Bring it, Geoff. Beautiful piano descent into the song here. It's a chromatic, it's a series of chromatically descending chords. And what I mean by chromatic, for those that don't know, chromatic is whenever you are playing chords or notes that are very similar to each other, but not in the sense that they are actually the same note. They are only slightly different. And what we call those are half-step notes. They're a half step away from each other. It's a certain distance in pitch and frequency from each other, which creates a different tone. Hence a chromatic. It goes down or up. It's only small intervals in between each other. So as you can see here, there's only small differences in the pitches in the chords that are being played. So as you can see, there's only slight differences here.
There are few.
Before he starts singing, there's a really cool little nifty thing that he does there with the piano with the upper keys. Has anyone ever thought about whenever they hear a similar noise, don't they think of like maybe sparkles popping up in the air in a cartoon or in a cartoon movie, like, and then just random animated sparkles come up? Me too.
There are few who deny it. When I do, I am the best.
Okay, so he's much more of a whimsical character and singing in a much more voice acty kind of way. And of course, that's how this song is, because in the movie, Jack doesn't even really sing much at all. It's more just creative poetry, like voice acty style poetry. But of course, we got to have some sort of vocality in this, some sort of musicality in this. And so Geoff kind of takes his liberties with it and brings it in. So he still does the voice acting thing, but he definitely adds some pitches in here.
There are few who deny at one.
Starts off with a C sharp here. There's like pretty much no pitching whatsoever in the original in the movie, but those of you with a keen ear.
When I do, I am the best.
Best. So it's going to be hard to pitch that, so I'm not going to try. But obviously, there's no real like dedicated effort into having an actual pitch in that low note there, but it's just descending into the depths, just so that way you got a little bit more whimsicalness, a little more, effect to it. A little more oomph.
For my talents are renowned far and wide.
There's been some controversy on what note he hit there. After listening to it a few times in the past, I was able to confirm that right there is a B flat 1 in chest. Sometimes it's hard to tell in like spots like this, but I hear a B flat 1 here, and I'm confident in that choice or in that reading of that note, because it just sounds like a B flat whenever I compared it to that B flat as a note. So, far from the lowest note Geoff has ever done, but it's so thick, rich, and a concentrated, full sound. Love it.
For my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying. With the slightest little effort of my ghost-like charms.
Okay, so cool thing here. For those that don't know, Geoff does not usually use the chest fry technique, the like poppy sound of your vocal cords. He doesn't usually use that. He's always been a subharmonic or growl person when it comes to those ultra low notes that he can't reach with his standard chest voice. So, it's really cool to see him use this technique, especially use it this well in a recorded fashion.
With the slightest little effort of my
slightest little effort of my. It's so well controlled here.
Ghost-like charms.
And that was chest. You can hear there's a little more oomph behind it, a little bit more air. There's more air behind it, more fullness, richness behind it. The chest fry, it sounds a little bit hollow, and it lacks a lot of lower frequencies, which gives it the breadth, the thickness of the sound, right? So whenever you do so is that low? Sure. But it doesn't have those lower frequencies to really boost and fulfill that whole roundness of the sound.
I have seen grown men give out a shriek with a wave of my hand and a well.
There he goes again with the chest fry. He's going back. He's slipping into it from his chest voice.
Placed moan, I have swept the very bravest off their feet. Yet year after year, it's the same routine, and I grow so weary.
Just casually walks down to an A flat G sharp 1 in chest like it's nothing.
Weary of the sound of screams, and I, Jack, look.
That's just such a thick F sharp 1, man. So thick, rich, and it's just the kind of bass that'll blow your eardrums out. Love it.
The sound of screams, and I, Jack, the pumpkin king, have grown so tired.
Nice harmonies in the background. I don't have time to break them down to what chords they are, but make sure you pay attention to those. Go back and listen to it, and really listen in for those background harmonies.
The pumpkin king have grown
Such a rich C2 there.
The same old thing. Oh, somewhere deep inside.
I love this key change every time it happens. It's it moves from a standard B flat minor key to a it goes to a tritone. It's the devil's interval, as they call it, because it sounds wrong and evil. But listen to the change here. That's a rich barbershop chord in the background. See, it sounds a little funny. Inside of these bones, an emptiness began to grow. So, I can't explain a tritone, or I cannot explain a tritone kind of thing to you. My understanding of it is only elementary right now, but maybe you can check out Peter Barber, some of his videos. He might have found a way to explain it in one of his videos. I'm not sure if I can reference one right now, but maybe you can go scrounge through his videos and find out. I can't explain it to you, but it's a really nifty little thing to do with music. That's all I know right now. It's really cool little key signature work. Yeah.
There's something out there far from my home, along
down to a G1 in chest. I don't have the subharmonic in me right now, but that is a nice, smooth, rich E1 subharmonic. Beautifully done, especially the descent into that E1 sub there. It was mint. The waves just executed. So pay attention to how easily he descends into this. So smooth.
I'm the master
Back to
of
voice
fright
acting.
and a demon of light, and I'll scare you right out of your pants. To a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky, and I'm known throughout England and France. Bonjour. And since I am dead, I can take off my head to recite Shakespearean quotations.
Down to an A and then a B flat there. It's just very well executed. The musicality, the weaving of the musicality and the voice acting into each other in this arrangement and cover of the song. It's beautifully executed, because this song is obviously not really much of a song per se. It's more of just poetry over music, and it's just beautifully intertwined, the way the voice acting and the musicality of it. No animal nor man can scream like a cat. Scream like a cat. So he goes up to a tenor high C there in mixed head chest voice, and it's so well controlled. I love that. No animal nor man can scream like a cat. Scream like a cat. That is so well controlled. I love every second of that, and I am here for it whenever whenever he sings in that high range. Love that. And then watch how he just descends into the depths after stepping up into the clouds right here.
With the fury of my recitations, but
such an extremely rich A1 there. And I also love the video effect with the golden flicker in his eyes there. Love that.
who here would ever understand that the Pumpkin King with the skeleton grin would die?
Something that not a lot of people I know that have reacted to this song have called out is the choice of adding background strings here. Stringed instruments like violoncello. These are cellos in the background here, but something really cool that the cellos are doing that invokes a spooky like feeling is a swell in sound. Wah, wah, wah. So let's go back and listen to this section here where they're doing that. Listen very intently and purposefully as to what you're hearing in the background, and kind of like tune Geoff out a little bit. Of course, he's the showcase of this, but I just want you to hear what I'm hearing.
Who here would ever understand that the Pumpkin King with the skill?
It swells in volume. It builds, whoop, whoop. It starts low and gets louder. And it does that for every like chord. And that's an incredible little touch for the arrangement here. And evokes this sense of spookiness, whimsicalness.
Grin would tire of his crown if they only understood. He'd give it all up if he only could. Oh, there's an empty place in my bones that calls out for something unknown. The fate.
That was probably the thickest F-sharp one I have ever heard him sing. It was so rich. So rich. He definitely probably drank something or abused his voice the night before in order to achieve that thick of an F-sharp one. Which one was it? I don't know. But it was so thick. Love it.
Fame and praise come year after year, does nothing for these empty
Another one. It's crazy. And I love the waving of the pitches on the violin here. Fantastic choice to kind of draw out a little bit too. Give it that little bit more spookiness. And Geoff's cover of this is just great because it emphasizes the fact that it still feels like a lament. But it's still got that taste of music to it that we all know and love from Geoff. Perfectly executed. Let's listen to Geoff's message and thank all of his patrons for allowing this to happen.
Hey y'all, Geoff here, and happy Halloween. This video was made with the support of spooky folks just like you, and all the wonderful souls over at Patreon. If you'd like early access to every single video I release, behind the scenes footage, or want to hop on a live stream with me, head on over to Patreon and check it out. I'll see you there. Extra special thanks goes out to Halder Draco, Helen Anderson, Diane Holland, Sarah O, Lori Templeman, Laura Mueller, Patricia Schumann, Debbie Goodling, Jordy S, Barb Wells, A.M. Person, Angie Woolard, Carl Thomas, and Melanie Thomas, Elsa M. Lagnestall and Dorothy Brune, and Debs Badger. Thanks again for watching, and have a safe Halloween. I'll see you in the next one.
I just realized I was covering up Geoff in this bottom corner the entire time. Geoff, if you see any of my reactions to your content, I am sincerely sorry for this one. Forgot about you being in the core, my friend. Man, so Geoff is just always blowing us away, and this is no exception with his version of Jack's Lament. And like I said, perfectly executed. It feels like a lament, and it still has that musicality to it. For those that don't know what a lament is, it's kind of like it's like any form of like poem or music that is pretty much like an ode to misery in a way. It's you expressing some serious discontent with something. It's a pretty broad thing the way I understand it, but it's just this piece of poetry or music where you're expressing deep sorrow for something. So, well done. extremely well done. It is perfect. It's such a perfect song to do in the spirit of Halloween. So, and just so you guys know, today, as this is being recorded, this is October 28th of 2024. I will have another Halloween video for you as a special for this week, back to back after this one. So stay tuned for that one. I'm not telling you what it is, but you'll find out very soon. Guys, this has been Ethan Drew. I love you. Take care of yourselves. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you gained some musical knowledge out of it. And we will see you later. Love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today. This video is made possible by patrons like Miss Nancy Flesher. If you are interested in getting shoutouts like this at the end of my videos, make sure you hit the link in my description to go to Patreon, where you have the ability to do so. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I love you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.